How
What
you
did I say?
feeling after week one?
The same as always. This is just how it is.
Gotcha.
Fantasy football is pain, dude.
I took a lease out on your heart. I took a lease out on your heart. Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun?
Welcome back, everybody. We are Rough Draft Users. You are the audience, and together we're on a quest for Dynasty Domination. How's it going over there, Daniel?
Oh, great, man. Couldn't be better. Now it's football season.
Hell yeah,
Just chilling. It was a long off season, but not anymore. Now we're
we're
just
here.
chilling, man. We got a
Yep,
couple months to enjoy the best third of the year.
yep. Spend all year waiting on Sunday night. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. We'll see you there, Carrie.
No, yeah, I feel the same. It's been good. Good to get the week one action going, and then I got a Thursday night game coming up tomorrow night, so that's gonna be exciting. Well, tomorrow night as of recording. And but yeah, so gonna change up the structure a little bit for the audience here, just so you guys know. Life's moving a little quick for us, so we're gonna kind of shorten these episodes at least for a while, see how that works out. So if we seem like we're rushing or a bit off, just bear with us while we kind of feel out the process of doing a little bit of shorter episodes. But today we are going to just kind of talk about week one, just kind of go back to the old vibes of guys at the bar talking.
Yeah.
Uh, so we're gonna hit some. Obviously, we're a Dynasty podcast, so we're gonna roll through some rookie talk, some assumptions that we made in the offseason that we got wrong, and then some general disappointments here at the end. So I'll just kick us off with the initial rookie thoughts. Kind of broke them into categories just real quickly. I'll start with the studs category. How about a Mecca Ibuka? Not so crazy top 12 pick now, is it?
Oh shit. No, that's beautiful. I'm looking at our 12 in, 12 out right in front of me and yeah, top 12, dude. That was a good call. Incredible, really.
We'll see if he can sustain it. But 6 targets, 4 receptions, and two scores. It's the game winner even. I mean, he just looked solid. He looked exactly like he's doing exactly what he's meant to be doing in life, and it's kind of what I expected. We'll see what happens when Godwin comes back, but a great start.
Yeah, he's the top six non-QB player on the week, which is incredible. Obviously he led rookies on the week as far as fantasy points, and
Mm.
I don't know. It was great. He did some things that I think impacted the rest of the team. It made it easy for them to just kind of focus in on him as a weapon. So I'm very excited to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, me too. Um, a couple tight ends here is in the stud category. We got Tyler Warren and Harold Fannin Jr. with 9 targets apiece, over 70% snap shares for both of them, and 63 yards for Fannin, 76 yards for Warren. I mean, exploding onto the scene. Makes me really sad. I didn't get any shares of Fannin. I let the Cleveland Browns of it all scare me. I thought it was going to take a little longer. We'll see if it continues at this rate, but 9 targets in week one is pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, that's incredible, man. I think that we all saw him as like the slot type guy, and he ended up pretty much owning that role. So 9 targets is incredible. I think Tyler Warren, that was really cool to see.
Hmm.
He led the Colts in targets, and preview for later, but that was better than Josh Downs and also better than
Mm.
Michael Pittman. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to see him set the tone. And, for us, Warren Ever Loveland has been something we've been saying since, February or March or whenever we got started in this process. So
Yeah.
it's a little validating here.
It
So,
it does feel nice to see Warren as the clear-cut early favorite there for the rookie tight ends. I mean, they were just clearly trying to get him involved. I mean, first play of the game. was a throw to Tyler Warren. So there's not much more of a statement than that, you know.
Right.
So well, we can do our lap, our victory lap, at least for week one. Bill Krosky Merritt, holy cow, only 33% of the snaps. More's got to be coming his way though, because he turned that into 10 attempts for 82 yards and a score.
Yeah, that was fun, dude. That was fun to watch. There, I don't know. That team loves him, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean they got rid of Brian Robinson. He's definitely the Thunder to can we call Eckler Lightning still?
absolutely, you can.
Okay. He's like
Absolutely,
one of
he
those
looked good.
slow motion lightnings, but
Yeah, I mean, it looked good for what it was, though. I mean,
fair.
as far as the Commanders in week one goes, it was a little polarizing. But Bill looked good. I wasn't too sad about Eckler's contribution. He was definitely still out there, so
Yeah.
we'll take it.
But yeah, I look to see BCM get some work, get some more work going forward. We'll go into my next category, which is fun, which I kind of just classify as like guys who I think kind of showed their potential, maybe didn't like crush it fantasy wise, but like there's a reason to be excited. And I'll start with two running backs who didn't really do that much on the ground. One was abysmal in Dylan Sampson, 2.4 yards per carry, but eight targets for eight receptions and 64 yards, the clear passing down back there. And then Travion Henderson, he did better on the ground, but he only had five attempts at 5.5 basically per clip, but six targets, six receptions for him as well, only 35% of the snaps. So I see Henderson's snap share going way up. Samson maybe not, but I think he gets the passing down work there for sure.
I mean, I think that it's still developing with Samson for him to
Hmm.
show that kind of prowess in the receiving game. I think he's got a ton of potential. We've talked about him in and out as a good goal line back. So if he can combine like short yardage and receiving work, then he's just going to carve out a nice little role for him. Jerome Ford was nothing in this game.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
um, even when you get Johnston in there, or when you
Judkins.
get Judkins in there, um, yeah, I mean, that is the perfect week for him to have with the opportunities been given.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It was cool to see, especially with all the question marks. I mean, it's the perfect chance for him to earn a role no matter what Judkins does coming back, and so far so good. Next, I got three receivers who got a decent amount of targets, didn't necessarily crush the scoreboard, but you may not know how many targets they got if you were only kind of checking out the fantasy points. So Travis Hunter got eight targets, six receptions, 33 yards, and honestly, JC Horn, what a beast, first of all, but he broke up like what could have been a 70-yard score for Travis Hunter. Alec Manor, 79% snap share for the Titans. 79. Only two catches, but on seven targets. That was up against a really good pass defense, so I'd like to see this going forward. It's cool that Manor kind of like carved out that wide receiver two there behind Ridley, which is awesome for him. And then Tedero and McMillan, nine targets for the Panthers. We talked about it with the tight ends. That's a great number to start your week one. The Panthers just looked really bad, so we only turned it into 68 yards, but still a lot of fun.
Yeah, McMillan, I mean, I love that. And I would say that team was a little rocky. What a
Mm,
weird storm break, those two games that had those big storm delays. But when they came back out, I mean, that game to me was just on the ground. So it was kind of a
mm,
cool story. I'm sure we'll get into a little bit later, but I thought McMillan looked sharp. And then I was happy to see Leggett kind of get a little bit
mm.
more action. So I'm not quite giving up on him, you know.
Yeah.
Some of these guys have a slow start and kind of starting this year with some steam. But yeah, Tyler Lockett doesn't look to be
Mm-mm.
much of a threat to Io Manor either. So I
No,
like
which
this usage.
yeah, nah, which was awesome because that was another guy we were pretty high on, and it kind of the fourth round draft capital kind of made people snooze on him a little bit, and I think we might end up being right there in the end. Maybe not a superstar, but a consistent player, I think, going forward. Uh, Next up, I got my questions category, which is just a few guys that like we might have expected to do well and still expect to do well, but just were kind of shaky in week one, so I wanted to ask you about them. First up, the two superstar running backs of this class. I mean, what a deep class, but we had Ashton Genty had 86% of the snap share, but only 2 yards a carry on 19 tries. His fantasy day was saved by a touchdown. But how do we feel? Is that just going to be kind of par for the course? Was it the Patriots defense locking in on him? What do you think?
I think it's just week one. I don't think this is, I mean, 2 yards per carry is that's abysmal, man.
Hmm.
You can't even, I don't know, even the catches is like 1 yard per catch. That's rough.
Hmm.
So efficiency was not good. But we know it's Ashton Genty. Like he's not going to be a dud, especially in a Pete Carroll offense. They're going to find a way to unlock him. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. New coach, new quarterback, new running back. It's just going to take a little time to settle in. And I do think New England's defense is a little underrated even still after Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I'm not worried about Genti yet. It sucks that it was like an inefficient preseason and then leading into this. But got to give it a few weeks. Not
Yeah.
everybody can boom on the scene every single time. But additionally, Amarian Hampton, 80% snap share, well over Najee Harris, even though he did get cleared to play, but only 3.2 yards per carry. Kind of a similar boat.
Yeah, that was kind of rough. He had some good carries and some bad carries. It was kind of up and down. So I think he definitely has the ability to pick up a little bit of steam. That game was absurd. I think the Chargers were just rolling through the air. So I think as they lean back towards Hampton and create some opportunities for him, he's solid. I think there's nothing to worry about here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was hoping. I mean, I made a pretty hefty bet on him to score a touchdown in week one, so that kind of backfired on me. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm not worried about kind of none of these guys in the questions category. Maybe the last one, but Matthew Golden up next, 66% of snap shares, 2 targets, 2 receptions. That's pretty good. I just didn't really go much with it. But I like that snap share. And if you watch the tape, my boy was getting open. It was just Love was picking exactly where he wanted to go with the ball, and wasn't having to wait for some of them. But you could see Golden did not have a problem separating, so I'm not worried about him either. I was hoping for a bigger week one though.
Yeah, I mean, with the Packers, they've done this the whole time. I mean, they're spreading the ball around. That's part of their success. So I think that as he settles in, he's going to get more opportunity. But why force it? They were doing whatever they wanted to, and so a win's a win. Just give them some more time.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. Like they were just kind of dictating exactly what they wanted to do, and it does kind of slightly worry me that maybe they kind of will turn into that, like, oh, I'm just going to go to whoever's open and all these guys are going to get like 3 targets a game. But I mean, from a Packers standpoint, I love it, but fantasy, maybe not so much. But I still think Golden ends up being the alpha there. Colson Loveland up next, just real quick. We kind of already touched on it. 2 targets, only 57% of snaps. So it does seem like they want to use both of them, but that game kind of got weird, so I'm willing to wait on him. Then some disappointing rookies. We had two rookie running backs with negative yards per carry. Cam Scatabo
No.
with negative yard and a half, and Caleb Johnson on 4% snaps, -2 yards per carry, and a fumble that I don't believe he lost, but he did fumble the ball. So not a great start for those two guys.
No, it was very bad, especially like Scatterbo. Everything. The New York Giants run game was abysmal, right? So we didn't know, was it Tyrone Tracy? Was it going to be Scatterbo? Doesn't matter. Tracy had 24 rushing yards. You're talking about Scatterbo had -3. Singletary had 9. And then Russell Wilson had 44. So
Of
um
course he did.
so like I don't think that it would be absurd to drop Scadaboo in a redraft league at this moment.
Mm.
Um, give him a little bit of time, I guess, but it's high stakes, man. We're doing a bunch of guillotine chop leagues, and I dropped Caleb Johnson, man. I was a
Yeah.
short bench, and I had
Hmm.
to make a move, man. So these
I
guys, they're gonna drown you if you let them.
Yeah, I think that was wise on Caleb Johnson. Obviously, in Dynasty, I'm holding way, way firm.
Oh
I
yeah.
love his potential. But in terms of redraft, it just seems we're in this Arthur Smith vortex, and then he hasn't shown out yet. So, one more running back though who did not do abysmally in the yards per carry actually had 11.7 yards per carry, but only a 29% snap share, and that was RJ Harvey. All this talk we heard that he was going to be the new Alvin Kamara didn't really happen, and then throw out one really quickly. Elijah Arroyo, one target on the day, which is sad. You know, I took him over Fannin a lot. So.
Yeah, yeah, with RJ, that was interesting though. He had 70 yards on six rush attempts, so that's badass. I
Mhm.
think that we're going to be seeing a little more of that, but let's see.
Yeah,
Damn,
he arguably could have been in the fun category, honestly,
it
but
was fun.
yeah.
JK was doing well though. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking about disappointing rookies, I have to slide in one more.
Yeah.
And this is probably a preview or a segue or whatever for the assumptions category. But Kyle Williams
Mm.
only had one target um, and one catch for 12 yards. And I think that there was a thought or overlooking some of the other people in that wide receiver room that he might be the number three guy on this team. And it is not looking like that's going to pan out as of yet, and probably not the whole season is kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, he might be a wait and see type of guy for sure. Who knew Keishon Boutte was gonna get so much work? But there you have it. That's a quick overview of the rookies. I mean, obviously there's some guys we didn't mention, but it was all kind of middling or expected or whatever. Let's move on to what were some assumptions that we made that we ended up wrong on. I'll take the first one. Assuming Keon Coleman couldn't take much of a jump. Holy cow. 88% of snaps, 11 targets, 8 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown. And he looked good. It wasn't like this randomness that was happening with this crazy offensive fourth quarter. I mean, it did happen a lot in the fourth quarter, but still, like I just thought he looked really solid.
Yeah, it was insane. I think that you picked a good one to start with because I didn't know if you were going there out the gate, but that was definitely an assumption that we made. I think a lot of people made that
Hmm.
he couldn't be the number one on this team, and he just crushed it. It was, I don't know, that whole game was insane, but the fact that he did this well, I found to be really impressive. There's like 20 wide receivers that had nine or more targets, and three of them were on the Bills. So with Palmer getting nine targets and Shakir getting nine targets, it means that there could be a situation where they kind of float that lead role. But as far as like success and playmaking, it was all Keon Coleman, and
Hmm.
he was still looked like a baby deer out there, but like he got it done at the catch point. So
Yeah, yeah.
this is wild. Like, yeah, and then he ran out of bounds and back in bounds on a 2 point. So there's clearly room for improvement. But as far as assumptions, yeah, I did not assume. I didn't have a lot of faith. Even in the first half of this game, I didn't have a lot of faith that they had the playmakers they needed to get the job done. And then, here he comes, just crushing it all the way. So I like that. I like your assumption there. I'll take a Captain Obvious assumption here real quick. And
Hmm.
ass assuming that Travis Etienne was like not even worth mentioning. I don't think we even talked about him the whole
Yeah.
offseason. We only spoke about Tank Bigsby and Bashul Tootin.
I I'd push
Well,
back on that a little bit. I feel like in our AFC South episode, we did say that it would make sense for them to run ETN into the ground.
okay.
So I didn't think it would be this successful, mind you. I wasn't out here saying pounding the table that ETN would be back to his old form, but I did think they were going to use him more than these other guys.
Yeah, I think yeah, that was the assumption, but I feel like his workload was threatened or his
Yeah.
fantasy viability was under threat. And now Tank Bigsby has been traded.
Yeah, he's gone to the
Um,
Eagles of all places.
yeah, so I think that's just unreal. He had 16 carries for 143 yards, so that's almost 9 yards per carry.
Hmm.
Um, Absolutely incredible. I mean, that whole game was pretty fun. He didn't score, and he almost had 19 fantasy points. So
Hell yeah.
if you can imagine putting some touchdowns on there, it's very funny to look at this kind of the fantasy breakdown of this game. There's pretty much nothing going on. It's disappointing for, here we go, previews, but disappointing a little bit for like Brian Thomas. Um, and just kind of the Jags offense outside of Etienne.
Hmm.
And then on the other side of the ball, Carolina, we've already mentioned McMillan had a pretty decent game, but then Chuba and Travis Etienne had basically the same fantasy output,
Hmm.
but and they had the same number of carries, but Chuba had 57 yards,
Yeah.
whereas Etienne had 143. So scoring a touchdown really appears to help on the score department, but
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
if
Um,
Etienne can get there, it'd be nasty.
oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I think a lot of people that stash him late are going to be happy if that starts happening. I'll kind of piggyback off that one real quick, and I'll go. I kind of cheated on this one because this was not my assumption. I don't even think it was your assumption, but people, not us, assuming that Brees Hall was dead as
Oh
well.
yeah, no, get out.
19 attempts, 107 yards, 5.6 per clip, and oh no, Braylon Allen, I'm so scared. A yard and a half yards per carry. My goodness. So it's
Yeah, I
not
don't
even
know.
like, oh, they were both killing this Steelers defense on the running game. No, it was Brees Hall looking explosive again.
Yeah, I came in and snaked that touchdown. So Hall
Of
should have
course he
had it
did.
even better.
Yeah.
I know, dude. It's like it's textbook, man. But yeah, none of us had that assumption. But I did have a pretty aggressive assumption from our most recent episode about running backs that may not finish in the top 12, even though
Mm.
they're projected to. And both of my selections seem to have heard me say that out loud, but none more so than Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
9 catches, 73 yards through the air, and then still 69 on the ground, which on 22 carries, come on, 69's not that best, 3.3. But I think obviously with the way this is playing out, McCaffrey, while healthy, is gonna be, I don't know, RB1 category upside, especially the injuries keep piling up for this team. So they're just going to have to lean on him even harder. So
Hmm.
my bad, Christian, my bad.
It's all good, man. I know you weren't referencing me, but
It's all
yeah,
two Christians.
that was kind of always a wild card. Like he's such a multifaceted talent that like if he's healthy and working, then he's gonna get work. Like he's hurt all week, and then he touched the ball 31 times. Like you can't. I was nervous going into the week. I wasn't at the beginning of the season. I was kind of bullish on him, but yeah, we'll see going forward. We'll see if he gets hurt. Seems like there's something in the water in San Francisco with injuries, but real quick, I'll do assuming Jahmyr Gibbs would go off in week one. I thought Packers trading Clark, like many other people, that maybe they'd have some trouble figuring out the run game, at least early on. They did not. 19 yards on the ground for Gibbs. And then this is the craziest stat I've heard in a while. Jahmyr Gibbs set an NFL record this week with the most catches to produce the least amount of yards. So
Ouch.
10 catches for 31 yards.
Ouch.
Terrible.
That's insane. Yeah, that hurts.
I don't see that going forward for the record. I think Gibbs is a locked in top guy, but that was a rough week one.
I don't know, man. I've mentioned my own reservations with their offensive coordinator
True.
selection and his history. And
I I guess I more mean fantasy wise because even with that
oh,
output,
yeah.
he had 10 catches, so he had 15 points on the day. So,
Right. No, he's locked in as a workhorse, but I do worry a lot about the future for the Lions in general. And you saw it on both sides of the ball. They lost two pretty awesome coordinators.
Yeah,
So it's going to be a transition period. So
for sure.
hopefully they can get it figured out because it was very exciting to watch them play football these past few years. So,
True, true.
how about correctly assuming that Quentin Johnston was going to get force-fed the ball in the red zone? It's like it feels like we weren't that correct, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Side note off of fantasy, I made several sports bets and I focused on like the two touchdown efforts
Mm.
for multiple players. And yeah, he had two touchdowns. That was him and Ibuka were the only wide receivers to catch two touchdowns.
Who would have
Um,
thunk?
yeah, I bet $2 on the Ibuka one. That was a good little payout, but
Hell yeah.
I did also bet $10 on Justin Fields to run in two touchdowns.
Oof.
That was a winner, dude. Love that. So I just want to throw this out there. Of all six of the players to have multiple rushing touchdowns, I did not assume that four of them would be quarterbacks and that the
Yeah.
yeah, so you got Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Josh Allen. And then big assumption, I feel like we're correct. And I think I'm just doing multiple assumptions right now, but um Derrick Henry was the fifth guy, and then the sixth guy was Javonte Williams.
Wow.
So what's up with that, man?
Pretty wild. The Javante one is still crazy to me.
Yeah, I'm still processing that, but I mean, we assumed he would be more viable than people were giving him credit for. So
True, true.
I've turned this into bragging.
Well, not bragging, I did assume that the Dolphins were going to start hot with a healthy Tua, and they did not. They looked like ass. Tua had fewer than 8 fantasy points, and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill combined for 11 targets, 8 catches, and 70 yards. Just pretty bad against like a pretty decent defense, but not like anything that's too crazy. I would have thought in a dome early in the season, healthy Tua, job on the line, McDaniel would have had these boys ready, but I guess I assumed wrong, and I made an ass out of you and me.
You and Miami. Oh, geez.
That was better.
I like. I'd say that I made an incorrect assumption big time by telling multiple people, including probably some family members, that Debo Samuel is not a wide receiver.
Mm,
Turns out, 10 targets, 7 catches, 77 yards. He is a wide receiver, but
he's back.
he also had one carry, 19 yards and a touchdown. I assumed that he was a bad trade acquisition, and through week one, he seems to be helping that offense out quite a bit. So my
Yeah.
bad, Debo, for now.
Not tomorrow night, though.
Not tomorrow night. No, it's all Terry. No, I'm sure.
We'll see how that aged. I got one left, and it's a quick one. Just assuming Michael Pittman was washed, I made a big deal of saying that I thought he looked off last year, and I didn't think Daniel Jones. And obviously, it's week one against a very depleted Dolphins secondary, but 6 catches, 80 yards, and a score, and he looked pretty good. So,
Yeah, he looked really good. That was exciting, exciting. Okay, and I'm just gonna save this one. Yes, I'm doing it. I'm gonna segue off of what you said into the disappointments
yeah.
category. Because yeah, Michael Pittman did do well. We kind of talked about him a little bit just now. We talked about Tyler Warren, but we should be talking about Josh Downs.
Mm.
He was a pretty big disappointment with only 3 targets, 2 catches, and 12 yards. A lot of people were drafting him over Pittman, and looks like, yes, disappointment to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of hurt all offseason, so I'm hoping that maybe they're just working him in and that he will kind of explode. But honestly, with Tyler Warren kind of taking not the similar style of work, but in a lot of the similar areas, kind of over the middle, and in the slot and stuff. Like, I do worry about Downs now, especially with Pittman looking so good. But I'm hoping that it's just a early season comeback from injury.
I'm hoping Pittman's the man to be. So that's
I
what's up
I
with
whiffed
that.
on that one if he is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of just working through. There's a lot of disappointments.
Mm.
I think none bigger for me personally than the Bengals offense.
Yeah.
That was atrocious. It really was rough. The only players on that team to have over 10 fantasy points were Noah Fant and Chase Brown.
Mm.
So if you're anything like me, you probably have some shares of Joe Burrow, or you probably made a first round selection of Jamar. Uh, yeah, sorry. Oh my
Chase.
gosh. Jace, yes. And now you're regretting everything, all the decisions you made in your life. And T. Higgins wasn't even really a big deal at all. And really, it's just kind of like high-end wide receivers. If you look at the top 12 running backs, like pretty much all of them hit this week.
Mm.
They did what they were supposed to do. If you look at the top 12 wide receivers, it gets a little abysmal. But T. Higgins and Jamar Chase had a lot to say about that. And damn, it was disappointing and hard to watch.
Yeah. No, I feel yeah. An analyst said, "Oh, Mark Sessler, heed the call,
Oh,
long time long time listener of his various stuff. He mentioned before the game that it does seem like the Browns kind of can hold Joe Burrow a little down, maybe more than most teams, and I took that for granted and just kind of wrote it off, but I expect the Bengals to be back fairly quickly. It just seems like I mean the Browns have a good defense first of all, but just seems like they understand how to kind of put the cap on Joey Burr.
Yeah, and the Bengals seem to like drop week one every year.
Yeah,
So
well, at least they didn't lose.
yeah, they got a W. That was crazy. They definitely almost lost. A
They
lot of
should
teams
have, yeah.
almost lost.
Hmm.
It was a very nice Sunday for close games. Especially the Steelers Jets game was incredible.
Oh yeah.
And Michael Penix's fourth quarter was outrageous.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I
Josh
mean,
Allen.
Josh Allen, of course. I mean, that was next level. But one guy I think a lot of people were expecting more from that was disappointing was Bo Nix. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
what the
called that
hell,
one.
dude? Yeah, I did. Yeah, hey, look at me go. But that was supposed to be like a easy game for them up against the
Hmm.
Titans. It's going to be like a walk-off homer in the second. No biggie. He couldn't even hit the the 200-yard passing mark. He threw two picks. He had a fumble in the run game. It was all bad news. He's lucky there's a little bit of a run game to hold him down, but yeah, that was pretty disappointing from my angle.
Yeah, no, it was surprising. Maybe it's because I wasn't talking shit on him, like I did pretty much all of last year. So I'm gonna keep
Should.
not saying anything bad because I fuck Sean Payton, basically. Um, so yeah, it was interesting. Maybe a little more tape on the offense they were running last year, kind of helped out the Titans, but we'll see. I mean, he should be back. He did look good, and was ascending by the end of last year, kind of. And Sean Payton is, offensive, pretty good guy. So,
Generic
so,
compliment,
so.
sincere generic compliment.
So we'll see where it goes. I expect them to do a little better than they did this week.
Yeah, I'd say that's a for sure. Another team that better do a little better than they did last week. The Houston Texans did not score a touchdown
Woof.
in their game against the Rams. And they did, however, manage to break my heart personally. by Nico Collins only having 5.5 PPR points, 3 catches on 5 targets for 25 yards. Like you're supposed to be averaging 25 yards a catch, man, not finishing a game with 25 yards. Pretty big disappointment. Any kind of hopes I had for this team, kind of CJ Stroud like breaking out into hitting his stride again, that rookie form or whatever. I'm gonna have to just take a pause, I guess. I mean, the Rams defense is nothing to be, you know, that disappointed in this effort, but I would have expected a little more.
Yeah, I would have too, especially after kind of the sophomore slump of CJ Stroud. I know a lot of people wanted to see him bounce back, and week one not doing it. But I do think they brought in a lot of new weapons, still ignored the offensive line, which is a death sentence for most teams. So stop doing that. But they
Yeah,
were up against a pretty tough front seven in the Rams. So hopefully, if they get maybe a weaker opponent, which I think they do, I don't remember who they're playing this week. Uh, Maybe they can kind of get some feet under them and get these weapons going.
Tampa Bay.
Maybe not this week.
Maybe next week. Next week. I like that. Yeah, that Tampa Bay game was crazy too.
Yeah, it was.
They got robbed on that field goal, but
Yeah. Hmm.
a guy from Tampa Bay, hey, I'm doing this, man. That there's 0 points for Kate Otten.
Oof.
That's a real thing. I started him in at
Oh.
least one place. Yeah, I've got, some desperate stuff going on in my life, but starting K Dotton is definitely not something that I would just tell you guys that happened. No, it was rough. I don't think, I mean, I kind of said that I didn't think he was going to have a good year this year, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad, and maybe if he caught some of those balls, it'd be different. But I don't think there's enough room for him on this team, especially if we get Godwin back in the next couple weeks. Kate Otten's going to just be blocking.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you're anything like me and thought that maybe there was a chance that he was going to, keep some rapport with Mayfield and take some extra work while Godwin was out, I don't know. I don't know if we can really count on that.
Doesn't seem that way. I feel like he was kind of a beneficiary of happenstance last year with so many injuries, and then them just kind of having to use him. It does help if you catch the passes that are thrown to you, though.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't know anything about passes thrown to me because I'm Roman Wilson.
Oh
Eh,
no.
and it's, I don't know, dude. We're gonna have to change the name of the podcast. We
I guess so.
can't be the Roman Wilson podcast anymore.
I,
But it was bad, dude. I mean, he was there, 18% snap share, just zero
well, even that.
interest.
I
Well, yeah,
all we heard all offseason, or at least I did, that like, oh, he looks like the number two there. He's gonna be better than Calvin Austin. Blah 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 blah. Nope.
no. Calvin Austin did good stuff.
Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah,
Sad
it,
days, sad times.
it was rough. The sadness keeps rolling here. And I think I mentioned this. Mark Andrews had 1 target, one
Ugh.
catch, 5 yards. That's
With
bad.
likely being out. Excuse
Yeah,
me. With
that's
likely being out as well. Jeez.
and then in a big time game where like I mean, obviously, like we've said, Zay Flowers looked unstoppable.
Yeah, he
Uh,
did. Finally.
Hop, Hopkins one hand.
Vindication.
There you go, man. Dude, he looks so good. That whole offense, I can't believe they lost that game, but that's a whole
Yeah, it was
nother
wild.
conversation. But so yeah, that is Doghouse remains. So whatever, Mark Andrews, if you were counting on him, then I'm sorry. You should be looking elsewhere at this point,
Yeah.
maybe Juwan Johnson or something.
Yeah, I guess so. Holy shit.
There's names out there, but my last disappointment, and I'm sure I'm missing something here, but Cooper Cup only got 3 targets
Oof.
and JSN got 13.
Yeah, I just dropped him.
Yeah, I think that dropping him is kind of, I mean, that's the right move at this point. I mean, this whole team is riding on Sam Darnold, which is like nothing. I think we all knew
Riding on a
his,
crooked horse.
yeah, man, like the success last year was inflated by the system and we didn't expect it to translate, but I mean, it's going to be good for JSN.
Yeah.
Two fumbles, love that on 13 targets. So I don't know, maybe shorthanded Cooper Cup is on the rise, but like I don't really want much on this offense. And now we've got the full, Charbonnet out touching Walker,
Yep.
and
Doak
and
Walker.
so like this division is getting a little dicey, especially San Francisco, Seattle days. But I mean, disappointment wise, that's pretty much where I'm at. There are some injuries that were disappointing, but if I missed any obvious non-injury disappointments, this is a good time to bring them up.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just touched on the last one. Kenneth Walker, 40% snap share and only 2 yards per carry on 10 attempts. And Charbonnet just looked better. I
Sam looks
didn't
better.
get Walker in any redrafts, and I really wanted to. I'm glad I didn't, but I also didn't get Charbonnet, who I wanted. So I'm a little disappointed about both sides of that coin, because Walker was a fun player, and we'll see if it was just a health thing. He was hurt, obviously, all offseason, so maybe they're just ramping him up slowly. But you also heard a lot of rumblings about Charbonnet being the guy there. I'll throw out three more just real quickly. George Pickens still being ineffective. 3 catches for 30
Yes.
yards. It's fine, but it's basically what he was doing in Pittsburgh. We'll see if they can pick it up, and maybe in a different situation. But I was just hoping for a bigger bang out of him from week one. Brian Thomas Jr., only one target or one reception for 11 yards. He had more targets. He did score a rushing touchdown, which was interesting, but he was out targeted by Travis Hunter. And I know a lot of people were riding on him to be like a top 7 guy again, and probably will going forward. But I saw some interesting stats that I forgot to write down. But just low key, look at his numbers with Trevor Lawrence and without, and there's a pretty stark difference between how he did when Trevor Lawrence was on the field, which you wouldn't expect, except that maybe Trevor Lawrence is a fraud. Last one. This one hits really close to home. Tucker Kraft looked like he was going to be unstoppable. Came out, scored a touchdown on the first drive, only caught one more pass. Um, Not that's huge as far as disappointments go, but a guy that I was pounding the table saying that he was going to have an amazing year. Would have liked to see a better week one. Not a terrible one for a tight end, scoring a touchdown is big, but just
Yeah,
kind of disappeared.
he had the same kind of first quarter as Chase Brown.
Yeah,
Oof. Yeah, I think I did. Green Bay just might not be a fantasy factory.
I'll take it if they're winning games.
I think that that's non-negotiable at this point. So they're doing pretty well. Okay, well, I just want to get a little bit into like next man up kind of disappointments with injuries. I'm going to start close to the heart with Worthy and the dislocated
Mm.
shoulder.
What is it with the Chiefs and friendly fire?
It's just how we roll. It's
You're too good. You gotta hamstring yourself, huh?
Yeah, it's like the handicap. It's like I thought they were going to do this for the whole NFL because they had the Jalen Carter handicap for game
Mm.
one, and they
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
Xavier Worthy handicap on game two. I thought they were just going to keep handicapping all the games just to make things more interesting. But yeah, they kind of dropped that after Sunday morning started. But yeah, that's a bummer. I think he'll be back. Me, I had kind of had concerns about his size,
Mm.
and so colliding with the horse himself, Travis Kelsey, that's not going to really end well. You don't plan your wedding while you're running pick routes on your own teammates.
Yeah.
That's just a gimme. I tried it once, didn't work out for me either. So
He's thinking about what color napkins to use while he needs to be thinking about where his teammates are.
yeah, table arrangements are going through his mind. Um, But honestly, I thought that Traquan Thornton,
Mm,
um, I thought he looked good. He had some nice routes. I think he's going to emerge as an option here. Of course, I wanted to see some Royal, but I don't think he even dressed for the game. So,
ouch.
uh, yeah, that's going to be a thing. But Hollywood Brown led the entire NFL in targets with 16.
Crazy.
So he had a good game, 10 catches, 99 yards. So next man up, he's a guy I'm looking for all over the world. Kind of talked, well, pre-show about Purdy being out and Mac Jones. I don't know how exciting that is, but it's something to keep an eye on. And his teammate George Kittle is going to miss a couple of weeks. And then what are we going with? Tongs here? Tongues? The
I think
backup
it's tongs. Yeah.
Dogs. I'll take it. So yeah, he's the backup tight end. He's already got a touchdown in, and I think that people are getting pretty excited about him. So we'll see how that ages. But I don't know. It looks like Brock Bowers going to be back pretty quick.
Yeah. So is it Drake London was practicing. I know there was a scare on him. He's expected to play, so I'm trying to
Okay.
think if anybody else. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that was mostly just the 49ers.
Seems about right. Well, all right. There you have it. That is our week one kind of little recap here, and hopefully you like this format. I know we're still a little long-winded, probably went a little longer than we anticipated still. But we will be coming back next week. But until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience, and we'll see you next time.
Yes. Have a good week.
I took a lease out on your heart.